Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of This Week in Eorzea, the Final Fantasy XIV news show, where we talk about all Final Fantasy XIV news and discuss what's going on. With me, as always, is Pyra, who's going to keep me on track, keep me on the straight and narrow. Hello, Pyra. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. We got the choo-choo train vibes today. We're gonna keep the tracks clean.
We too. We gotta keep Debbie focused. She is tired, burning the candle at both ends, playing too many video games all at once.
Doing all the things. Sometimes you just have to do all the things and let future you regret past you choices.
Right? That sounds like a future Debbie problem. We have just a little bit of news today. The Lodestone has been kind of tame, but that is in preparation of something coming up next week, next Tuesday.
Oh yeah, a week from tomorrow. Oh yeah, don't you know? It's a week from tomorrow.
And that is, of course, the Cosmic Exploration we've been waiting so much for.
Months.
So I'm gonna not get any sleep again in the future.
Maybe that's the true reason why we're taking next Monday off. So announcement, we're taking next Monday off, and the true reason is so Debbie can sleep in preparation for Cosmic Exploration. Not the fact that I'm going to be out of state for my sister's wedding. Truthfully, I've asked my sister to plan her wedding this weekend just so you could get sleep for Cosmic Exploration.
Thank you. I feel like it's going to be like a bear, right? I'm going to eat like 5,000 calories worth of food, sleep for 18 hours, and then go. That's it.
He's just going to get control.
Listen, I need to get ranked. What can I say?
You need to have your hologram up in the chamber.
It's so much better than last time. I did that for Ishgard, and all I got was my stupid name on a website. So this time,
I'll make you a t-shirt that says that.
Like, that was my stupid name on a website. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that news, what do we got going on? If you want to talk about, I'll pull up the Lodestone. Hatching Tide.
Hatching Tide. That started last week, and it's going through the 24th. So it is 14's version of Easter, an Easter event, and this year's item is the egg parasol. Whatever, I don't remember its actual name, but it is essentially a decorative egg parasol. Have you done this yet, Debbie?
I have not. It's on my radar. I know I have until the 24th. I need to get it done before next Tuesday, obviously.
Or you will not remember to.
Right. But I mean, they're really cute events. It's a nice umbrella. I'm going to do it on at least my main and a couple of alts, so highly recommend.
Yay.
The callback campaign. What's going on here? Up to 7 days of free playtime?
Yeah, so if you have friends, this one is fun. Like, I don't know if they've called it this before, but essentially, folks, if you have friends who haven't played the game in a period of time, or if it's somebody in your FC, you can, like, I guess the command, mouse and keyboard is like right-click their name and invite friend or return with the special selection that says invite friend or return, and they can get up to 7 days of free playtime from April 11th through May 9th. So that's a good chunk of time if anybody kind of took some time away from the game and wants to come back but doesn't know if they want to like pay for an active subscription again. It's a good time to do it, especially with the like the holiday event and like some of the new Dawn Trail content.
Absolutely. So normally there's like a requirement. Oh yeah, they have to have been inactive for at least 90 days. So this can't be someone whose sub just expired. It has to be someone who's been gone for a little bit.
That's a good note too.
Yeah. But
and there's is there in-game rewards for this one? There is. So the gold chocobo feathers for those who were able to kind of call back a friend. So they get the 5 chocobo feathers for the Twintania. It can go towards the Twintania mount, which I know I still don't have that mount because I haven't been able to summon friends back to the game because my friends either play or don't play the game.
Right. No, I don't have it either. I have a bunch of silver feathers that I acquired. How do you get silver? I think it's through
So being called back to the game is one way. So I'm looking at the callback campaign site. Rewards for players who are called back, at least as of now, they get 7 days free playtime from the start of the first day you log back in. They get 99 Aetheryte tickets and 10 silver chocobo feathers, which can be used for weapons level 20, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90.
There we go.
That's not too bad.
There's the Twintania mount.
Yeah, I want it so bad. I've literally seen people pay for extra accounts just to get that mount, which is just wild to me.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I personally wouldn't, but
I wouldn't, and I have not. But yeah.
Oh, or you could just get a whole bunch of jet black or pure white dye.
I mean, that is always handy, in my opinion. So, you can always just keep getting your friends back into the game.
I'm like, I don't know where that went. Okay, let's go back to the lodestone. My word. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. Now this is new. The spring community support campaign. I've seen a whole video on this, so we'll try to recap it generally, but if you want more information, there are definitely creators who have put out a lot more information on this. Essentially, there's this thing called the community finder that no one uses, that they're trying to get people to use. Right? That's how that goes, right?
Yeah.
So if you post recruitment on there, you can get some fireworks. I'm being a little jaded, but essentially a little jaded. If you're
it looks like there's multiple campaigns too.
Yeah, there's 2. So there's like if you already have an existing free company versus if you want to create a free company. Yeah, so in addition to campaign A, which is just if you have a free company and you create a recruitment post, there is campaign B, where you can submit your information through the community finder and get recruitment on that. And for doing that, you can be one of 100 people in the entire game selected to receive some of these items that they give away in giveaways. Apparently, Mione said the Loppert earring was new.
That looks new to me because the moment I saw that, I was like, I need it now. Like, please, Squeeding, tell me how to get this.
Let's see if I can bring up this. What the? Is that the one? Okay. This is supposed to be the entire information on it. So, I mean, this has its own site. It has terms and conditions. It shows you how to go into the community finder, shows you what exactly you need to do. It shows you how to, submit yourself for consideration for the prizes. This is just completely in depth, like way too much for me to feasibly cover without boring everyone to death. But if you have a free company or want to create a free company and you're looking for a way to advertise and you kind of want to get maybe some prizes on the side for doing so, definitely take a look at this. I wouldn't be like, everyone go out there and do this, because it's just... But
this feels more like if you're kind of already in a position where you're trying to recruit for members in a free company and you're kind of thinking of ways to do so, this might be the chance to try out the community finder and see if it works. And I mean, the worst thing that could happen is probably nothing. You get some extra inquiries, and the best thing that could happen is you get some neat prizes and maybe some new friends. I mean, I've seen some people come through the community finder, but it's not. I feel like this is not me trying to sound jaded or like not believing in their system. I've had a better luck either in the game, in Party Finder, or just social apps outside of the game, like social platforms. So I don't think it does as much as some people would like, but it's worth a shot.
I mean, I think this is an attempt to get more people to use it for sure. I've had recruitment up on my free company on Halicarnassus several times. The problem I have with it, from a free company leader point of view, is the recruitments only last a certain period of time, like just a couple of weeks. And then they expire and get taken down, but there's no notification to you that this has happened. So unless you're checking it regularly, your recruitment listing is probably expired, and that's why no one's seeing it. And it just needs a little bit of tweaking, I think. But maybe if more people are using it and giving that sort of feedback, maybe there might be change in the future.
Absolutely. I at least commend them on the effort. I feel like we've gotten other systems in the game that had like community-focused ones, like the fellowships, that were spawned from a great idea without a great execution. And I think that the community finder, they have done a few consistent efforts to try to like put some life into it. So I don't know if it'll influence my decision to do something, but I'm glad that they're doing something.
There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, exactly. What do you have to lose if you're a free company leader or looking to found a free company? Just utilize it. You might get something out of it. Mm-hmm. Other than that, the only other thing on the lodestone is the Unending Journeys next episode for EU. So if you happen to be on an EU server, Thursday, April 17th, you can join them for Cruiserweight Arcadian and Recollection Extreme.
The newest raid content.
There you go.
And then sometimes these two are fun, like, because they always stream them. Sometimes it's fun even if you're not in the, like, you can't partake in the prizes. However, like, if you're always looking for like fun Final Fantasy XIV streams, I find that these can be really cool because these are coming from the team, like the whole team at Squeenix. So if you want to kind of see what they do, maybe they'll talk about, I don't think they ever talk about like any big things on these streams, but you know, sometimes if you want a more like official stream to watch and like community kind of event, this can be a cool thing. And if you are an EU, you get really cool, you have a chance to win really cool prices from the Taito shop. Taito, which I'm jealous.
Yeah. But yeah, they usually have some sort of giveaway going on for IRL, like actual stuff. So other than that, online store, Mog Station maintenance, April 16th. This is corresponding to the patch. So nothing too crazy there. Is that all we have for news?
The only thing that we talked about last week, kind of news, kind of not, is a Crystalline Conflict Community Cup is actually taking place this week. So we talked about it last week as far as kind of like the final brackets for this PvP Community Cup. competition, and they're happening the 18th and the 19th. So just in 4 to 5 days, looks like towards the end of this week, they will be partaking in that. So if you are into PvP or those sorts of competitions, keep your eye out.
Yeah, something to watch while you're waiting for cosmic exploration. It's kind of the theme of the day, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Quick community check-in. I had a poll on YouTube regarding is 7.2 MSQ better than 7.0. The numbers are in. So right,
we have the thing for this. Do we? No, wrong one. Nah, that's also the wrong one.
Yeah. 7.2 is better than the main 7.0. 56% agreed. So the clear majority of people think so. 12%.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I was just gonna say clear majority, but not overwhelming.
Not overwhelming. 12% didn't see an improvement, and 27% hadn't done it. So a lot of people are still just on vacation, I suppose. Out of 73 votes, which is kind of a decent amount of people. So
yeah.
That's all I got.
I will say with that too, like my husband likes to scour Reddit, and he was looking at things because he's a diehard Final Fantasy XIV player as well. He keeps up a lot with like the news community and like the Reddit community, and it looks like from what he was saying, the Steam reviews for Dawn Trail have actually gone up and leveled out a little bit more from overwhelmingly negative to kind of like now we're kind of like coming back up to like mixed. So I think 7.2 had that impact on like a lot of folks, where people who maybe felt just not satisfied with the story or kind of like there was something missing. Like I think a lot of people are coming around in 7.2 to be like, oh, okay, like this is doing what I want it to do. So I can't say I'm super surprised.
So, I mean, grain of salt. Like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I did see the article you had mentioned, where the Steam reviews have gone back to mixed, and I read that, and then was continuing to look for Final Fantasy XIV news, and saw a certain certain YouTube creator who has usually lately been very negative about Final Fantasy XIV post a video saying, it's back, baby, sort of like Final Fantasy XIV is back, we can all enjoy it again, sort of thing, because it's scoring better than it was. And I think this is just a media trend. I hate to say it. I think it's just kind of that hype train going through, where now it's okay to like it again because, because the streamers say so and Steam says so. I don't know. Maybe that's just an extremely negative take. I'm glad more people are enjoying it. It still seems like a lot of people haven't gone into 7.2 who were kind of iffy about 7.0. So maybe by 7.3, 7.4, we'll get a clearer idea of what's going on. I think maybe it's a little just premature. And given that some of these like sensationalist videos have come out recently, I think it might be just, is that negative? Yeah. Am I being negative?
I think it's negative, but not wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's wrong by any means. I think it's realistic, like, truthfully. Like, and that's, like, anybody who watches us regularly, like, us. We will give our candid, honest opinion, but, like, overall, we love the game, or we wouldn't still be here doing this. But I think you're right. There has been like a lot of the sensationalism, especially in the past year. And I wouldn't doubt that some of this is kind of riding on those coattails.
Yeah, or even just self-correcting from everything that happened when Dawn Trail launched. That was a little bit over the top. So
Yeah.
I see it more, maybe that's the right word. It's a self-correction in the market sort of thing for
Yeah.
everyone who posted very negative things when it first came out. Now 7.2 is kind of elaborating a bit more on that base story, and people are getting a little bit of trust back, saying, well, you know what? It obviously wasn't quite as bad as we thought it was. This is starting to make sense, so we can trust them a little bit more with the story. Only time will tell. What do we got? What aren't we talking about? I don't know how quite to start this. There was we kind of went back and forth on what to say on this sort of topic a little bit today. So we can go as vague or as specific as you want to go. We're not talking about the reason Mr. Happy is happy. So take that for what it is. I'm going to let you start. Relationships in game, friendships, IRL connections. Let's go. What are we not talking about?
It's like that is such a open bucket of like situationships in game, relationships in game, coming out to the real world. From my experience, which has all been friendsituationships, question mark, relationships of the platonic friendly kind, I've had both great and not fun experiences. I think it is almost like you meeting people in real life and kind of like having friendships outside, like that stem from a game into the real life, can be really great and rewarding. And it also can be like living with your friend, like everyone knows kind of the saying of like, don't live with your friends, because like it usually doesn't end well. And I think a lot of that can be said about like any sort of friendship that starts online and like kind of translates to this like real life landscape, is sometimes it doesn't work because people act differently on a computer in a lot of cases than in person. So it's great. It can be great, and the risk can be worth the reward, but there's always a risk. That's what I will say.
Okay. Yeah. First off, yeah, congratulations. I mean, people being happy is a good thing. I love people being happy. My own story of kind of meeting someone through a game went terrible. Like, absolutely cannot mention it here, terrible. So obviously the hope is this is a really good thing. They've met each other before. They know what's going on. Kudos to them. I don't want people thinking that meeting someone through a game is always the best way to form IRL connections. Because like you said, people are very different sometimes in person than they portray themselves online. So just be cautious. If you want to meet up with someone you've met in game, absolutely, but do it safely, obviously. And if you have any concerns or questions about how to do it safely, there are people you can reach out to get some better information on just how to protect yourself while doing it. Because I think what you said is there are a lot of people who have met really good friends, even partners, significant others through the game. And I mean, it's the best way to meet someone who enjoys something you do, when it's not exactly you can go down to the library and, you know, right? Like, it's not like it was where you can just go and meet a whole bunch of Final Fantasy players in the wild. You can put a little like chocobo on your backpack, I guess. See who comments on it, but that's kind of like trolling, I guess. In a fishing word, trolling, but also be careful spending too much time with people who enjoy all of your same hobbies. I this is Debbie dating advice. But I mean, if you live with someone and you play a game with someone and usually spend all of your spare time with them and you don't have any sort of other outlet, Yeah, that can get tiring. And I think that's what you were saying about living with friends. It's like you've got to have something else that you do for you time. That's life advice with Debbie. This is why we're not talking about it. Do you have anything else to say?
I guess onto the safety thing. Like I will say, for context, I've met over a dozen people in person that I initially met in game. And it's been rewarding for me, and I think the thing that's helped keep me safe is meeting up in public spaces, as silly as that sounds. Some people are like, oh, you're being a little bit too scared, and it's like, no, I'm being safe. And I think that's one of the things that I remind myself, like, if I'm going to a convention and I know people, I have like my husband with me, like, I'm totally fine saying, hey, stranger on the internet that met, however many months or years ago, let's meet up there in a public space, which you don't know my address, and those types of things. I think there are fun, creative ways, which is not like necessarily pertaining to the happy thing, but just relationships stemming from online. There are fun, creative ways to be safe, and think about exploring those first.
We care about you. We want you to be safe.
Yay.
Yeah.
And also, congrats, Happy, because I'm happy for Happy and happy for Spoofy. And yeah, I guess if they're comfortable enough to share it on the internet, then I guess we'll see what else stems from it.
They both seem like really good people at heart, so that's probably the common denominator, is kind of the soft hearts. So I get it.
It's because they're Lalafels.
Listen, I didn't think about that until now, but
soft
you're probably
potato hearts,
right.
Like mashed potato hearts. No, kidding.
And we're not talking about it. Tip of the week. I can't remember if I did this one before, but those alpha dolls your retainer keeps bringing back, you can desynth those. And their sum of the parts is worth more than the whole. So desynth them, and you can sell them for much more than you could, trash it or sell it to a vendor for. Also, cheap furniture. If you go onto the market board, like you get furniture back from Quick Ventures or whatever, some of it sells really cheap, like 300 gil, 500 gil. But if you go into the history and you see one or two people buying a whole bunch of them, that's a sign that it desynths into something valuable too. So they're buying 20 or 30 of like the dressers in order to desynth them and sell the lumber or whatever rare item comes from it. So hold on to those items. They might be worth more if you tear them apart. Do you have any experience? Do you desynth much?
Desynth? I'll go on sprees. I'll go on sprees because there will be sprees where I like go through everything in my inventory, or maybe I look on the market board and see if there are any cheap things that I can kind of snag. One of the old tricks of the trade, I don't know if it's worth anything anymore, was going to like Ulda had like the I forget the vendor name, but you can buy the bridesmaid and the groomsman attire there, and you can desynth it. And you had it like the black groomsman shoes, you could get like the blue demi-materia, like the clear demi-materia or something, and you could usually, I think you could buy it for like 1,000 gil or something like that, and then exchange it for like 5 times for like 10,000 or 5,000 gil, kind of, if people bought it. So I used to do that back in the day, and I think it's a really good way to make some extra cash, especially. So it's so easy. It's so easy. You don't really have to do much.
It is, and you're getting potentially skill up increases if you're not max desynth. So, and there's the weekly challenge log for desynthing 5 items every week. So, give it a try.
Doesn't it give you XP towards your crafter that you're on as well?
Yes, so be careful. That is also a very good tip. If you're going to start desynthing, change to a crafter that needs experience. So when you click on an item to desynth it, you don't have to be on the class that it says
Right.
you need to be that uses the, oh my god. You don't have to be on the class of the D skill synth it uses. But be on a class that can get experience for that challenge log entry.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good point. Okay, we got a small little hot topic this week. Hot
A
topic.
lukewarm topic.
Oh, it's very hot, but very small. It's like a little chili pepper topic.
It's an espresso.
Soken did an interview. I have it up on the screen. I can pull it up, but he talks about working on 14 and 16 simultaneously. Pardon in advance, like I've got this up on PC Gamer, which is just absolutely full of ads. Like not ads as in, but ads as in, you know.
What?
Not ads as in ads in game, but ads as in ads all over the page. Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored by any of this. Soken says doing double time on an MMO in Final Fantasy 16 was something beyond your imagination of hell. I think that's paraphrased, but it's definitely translated.
Different Lord of Burnout.
Right? This poor guy. So, rewind, was it during Shadowbringers? He had his cancer diagnosis and was going through treatment for that. And he never stopped working on the game while he was in hospital going through all of this. And then he gets better and immediately does something crazy like this. Like, there's a reason him and Yoshi are friends, because they're both just incredible workaholics.
Mm-hmm.
But the music, like, you've played 16 now, right?
I haven't fully played it, but I've funny enough, I've listened to the music on my YouTube Music way more than I've actually played the game. It slaps.
The music just makes that game. Just makes it. And Soken is such an indescribable talent in his field. He's going to be a master in terms of when you hear music, you're going to know it's him. And yeah, he said working at 14 and 16 at the same time was hellish in the literal sense of the word. I would be very honest in saying that I never want to do anything like that again. Every day was a really horrible hell, really something beyond your imagination of hell.
God.
So he is brutally honest.
Brutally.
Poor guy.
And I think too, I believe, I don't know if it's for him or just Square Enix in general, I think kind of both. Unless I'm wrong, I believe he has like the most, Final Fantasy XIV has like the most video game music, like original music out of any game ever. I think they beat the world record, which is like, I don't work there, so I can't tell you how much of it is him, but as far as I know, that is all because of him. Like, he's the reason why we have so much unique music, which is not just, hey, can you whip up that song in like a few hours? Like, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's like when you're creating music for a game, you create all of the tracks and it comes out like after 3 to 5 years and everything's all together. When you're creating music for an MMO, it just never ends. Every expansion you're having to renew and refresh yourself and come up with different takes, and every trial, every dungeon, like, this guy is nuts. He explains that he believed he could take on both games because he did it back in the day. When 14's 1.0 launched, he worked on both the additional music for 1.0 and the tracks for A Realm Reborn.
Oh, silly man.
I had the experience of working on 2 massive games. I just didn't give up this time either. He's older, though. I mean, 1.0 came out 13 years ago.
And last I've heard is battling cancer is usually a little bit of a stressor on the brain and body. Just a little bit.
Yeah, so
I
it
just
says
looked it up to patch 3.545. So back in Heaven's Word is when they reached the Guinness World Record for most original pieces of music in a video game, including expansions, with 384 songs. This was 10 years ago.
Right.
How many do we have now? Like,
Right.
multiple expansions later.
Yeah. So it was back in 2021, he revealed he had been battling cancer through the majority of Shadowbringers patch quests, keeping his condition a secret from most of his colleagues while he worked from the hospital. Which is both admirable and sort of concerning.
Yeah.
Work is important, but not at the expense of your own health. But he said it gave his life meaning. And if he was going to die doing something, that's what he wanted to do. So, I mean, you can't fault someone for that.
You're gonna grab a box of tissues and cry into them.
Yeah, right.
My God.
If they said, would you do it simultaneously, I would just say no. If they asked me, is it that you don't want to do it, I would say no. It's difficult question. If I had two bodies, I would do both, he says. So.
Valid.
Yeah, unfortunately, as it is often said, no one can be in two places at once, and I'd rather so can be in one place with a decent amount of sleep, continuing to make bangers for a game that is full of them. Because the music honestly makes Final Fantasy XIV. We've said that before, everyone agrees. It's kind of the universal truth of the game. There is no notes on the music. But and ironically.
Yeah. There's just it is something of witchcraft that he pulls with the music. I truly believe, like, even every major expansion has this like one iconic piece of music, and it will never cease to amaze me how he'll take that same song and recombine it like a bunch of different ways. He'll make a metal version of it, he'll make an operatic version of it, he'll make a techno version of it, he'll make a classical version of it, and it's like, how can somebody like do that? Like, how can somebody come up with all this really new, fresh and original pieces, but then also take these like common themes and morph them to like the vibe of the story, so that they're like all cohesive but also unique and like imperative to like the feeling you're supposed to be feeling in different parts of the game. Like, I could go on and on. He just it truly mesmerizes me every time.
Yeah, no, he is a genius. And if you want to see him in his glory, check out him doing Lahi on the stage for that one fan fest with the little obotone or whatever it is. Yeah,
Tomatone. I think that was 2020. I think that was 2021. It was the COVID one. Mm-hmm. It was the one where they couldn't do a live fan fest, so they did a live streamed fan fest with just the staff there. And yeah. Do you know Lahi? Lahi.
Just a beautiful, beautiful human being. So I'm sorry he went through all of that. I'm glad he's learned his lesson. And I hope he continues to create works of art for 14 going into the future, many, many years.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think that's probably it for this week. Unless you have something I missed.
Not really. I mean, I know in my realm of things to do in the game right now is just, it's a lot of kind of rinse and repeat stuff. I'm doing Arcadian raids, so I'm doing those. I'm progressing through those. Doing my normal weeklies to try to get tomes, doing my normal like PvP here and there to try to make my way through the newest series. What about you, Debbie? What have you been up to in game while we're waiting on a cosmic exploration?
I've honestly just been trying to do weeklies. Like, I'm trying to stay on top of getting my weapon token every week from the raids. I've been trying to improve my gear, and then shamefully got caught in level 90 gear on my 100 dancer on map night. So working even more diligently on improving my armor. Trying to do Unreal, still don't have a clear, but got really close, so fingers crossed soon. And just working on currencies and stuff. Like, I'm still collecting mount tokens for scripts. I'm still bicolored gemstones. Like, some of these really long grinds that are probably going to take me all expansion. Because I know I'm going to stow all of that stuff away once Cosmic Exploration drops. So get it done now while I can. Come back to it after I've had my fill. That's kind of my plan. So where can people find you this week?
So this week I will only be streaming on Wednesday, Thursday, potentially Tuesday. Tomorrow we'll see. We'll be doing M5S Reclear and M6S Prog. I am actually off. I fly out of the state on Friday and I come home Tuesday right in time for Cosmic Exploration. So I will not be available this weekend. I will be at my sister's wedding. So
Nice.
yeah, I'll be there. I'll hopefully take pictures and send them. I'm actually meeting up with my best friend at this point, my FC mate / static leader. So it'll be great getting lunch with her while I'm in her area, her neck of the woods.
Awesome. Yeah, and just to amend, Zoam, I'm sorry we were intentionally a little bit vague on that. So you can find the info regarding Mr. Happy on his socials. Yeah, it's him and Spoofy who are together.
Yeah. What are you doing?
What am I doing? Good question. I am living through the next 2 days by whatever means necessary, and then I have 4 days off. Part of which I'm going over to the big city, taking a trip over to Vancouver, and I'm going to a entirely gluten-free Japanese restaurant. That is kind of top billing on this trip, as I get to go have Japanese food because I haven't had that since my diagnosis. So super excited, gonna eat all the Japanese, and then come back and relax, and then hopefully get into my Monday through Friday groove. So I won't be streaming this Friday, maybe even Saturday, but then into the next week I am back at it. So Debbie's not disappearing. Debbie's just gonna go eat a whole bunch of sushi before Cosmic Exploration drops.
It's an R&R. It's R&R.
It's part of the pre-hibernation ritual needed in order to grind through all of this.
Exactly. See? All good things are now falling into place.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me, Pyra. I appreciate it. I am always happy to get to chat with you.
Likewise, and I won't see you next Monday, but I will be thinking of you as you're slaving away at Cosmic Exploration next week.
There we go. You'll know where to find me, at least. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us on YouTube now and in the future. If you want to join us, not next week, but any other Monday for more Final Fantasy XIV news and discussion, subscribe, like the video. YouTube will show you more. Take care, everyone. Love yourself as much as you love others, and we'll see you in game.
Yes. Bye.